Hello, 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 everyone. Freddie Miller here. Happy Wednesday. Hope you guys are fired up. Hope you guys are doing great. As promised, back in action. Really excited about all the comments I'm getting on my videos, both English and Spanish. And like I said, I'll be consistent, at least Monday through Fridays, probably pop in here and there on the weekends as I get rocking, as I get back into network marketing and start building teams and make my final decision. A lot of people ask me, what are you doing? You guys will be hearing about it very soon. But anyhow, I'm excited to be able to share a few moments with you guys back in Miami. Today I was listening to a bunch of different Tony Robbins audios and just sharpening the mind as I do every single day. And I wanted to share a few of the stuff that I got from that because I think I picked up some great nuggets and elaborate a little bit about it. And so for the next maybe 5, 10, 15 minutes, whatever comes out of my mouth, I'll be talking a little bit about some of the points that really stood out, some of the things that I know can make a dramatic difference in your life, no matter what it is you're doing. If you are in the network marketing industry, if you're in sales, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're just somebody that's wanting to get ahead, even sports performance, people that are competing and doing different things, it's all mindset. And so it all applies. But obviously those that know me know I've been in the network marketing industry for about 20 years. It is truly my passion. I love it. I love everything that has to do with weight loss and fitness because I'm a big fitness buff and I like to eat right. And I'm always fired up and energized. And anyhow, today I wanted to talk about something that I posted. I posted a picture when I got on the plane coming back to Miami. And the title was "Everyone Dies, but Not Everyone Lives." And so I share that with you because, I think it's reality. There's a quote that I heard a long time ago that said, most men die at 25, but they're not buried till they're 65. And the reality is, when we're in high school, when we're young, we say we're going to be different than our parents. We're going to accomplish things that they weren't able to do because we're more daring, because we know more, because this and that. And then life kind of catches up on us, right? We go to college, we fall in love, we create a family. And all of a sudden we have obligations and stuff to do. And, we find ourselves in a situation where we just accept, we try to move as much as we can, but we don't really, we're not doing what's really our passion, what really moves us, what makes us live, what makes us alive. We kind of, follow everybody else. We do what other people are doing. And, it's not really what we set out. It wasn't our original goals and dreams. We give up, right? And then, the sad reality is we become who we surround ourselves with. And then the people around us that we've chosen to hang out with, which are great people, have fallen in the same trap. They've, given up on their dreams as well. And so they're just doing that 9-to-5 thing because obviously they must provide. It's a responsible thing to do. And I have nothing against that. I'm just saying, you're not living your life. And I've shared a phrase before that really hit me many times in my life and woke me up. And recently I shared a recent video that really hit me. And it was, time is passing, nothing is changing. And guys, that is a phrase that I heard maybe like 15 years ago when I was going through some sort of a minor crisis, which at the time was the biggest crisis in the world. I wish I had gone through that type of crisis. But as I went through that, as I heard that phrase, actually, it didn't hit me till I got in my car. And I started thinking, what did they mean by time is passing, nothing is changing? And guys, what I realized was that, time is passing, and I ain't doing anything about it, right? Things are getting worse and worse. I'm not getting ahead. I'm stuck. Other people are advancing. What the hell? It's like, snap out of it, Freddie. And so with that in mind, like I said, today I was listening to a lot of Tony Robbins, was jotting down notes and stuff. And a couple things that stood out. A lot of us make decisions in life. And I think depending on our state at that moment, this is something that Tony Robbins said, and I totally agree because I look back at a lot of decisions that I've made and the state I was in when I made them, and the ones that were great decisions, I was in a certain state, and the ones that were not so great and that I wish I could do over, if you will, the state was, I was in a crappy state. And so the quote is, the state you are in powerfully impacts how you perform. If you've ever been to anything Tony Robbins, if you listen to anything Tony Robbins, it's like all day you're jumping up and down, but it's like 90 minutes and 90 seconds of lessons and 90 seconds of full out music, fired up, you're jumping up and down and whatnot. And I think that what he's trying to prove, and really what he's trying to prove is, if you can change your state, you can change your mind. If you come into something with a positive attitude, you definitely address it totally different than if you're down and depressed, if you're negative, if you're frustrated, right? You just encounter things differently. If you believe that that you're going to win no matter what, that for example, let me give you a best analogy to explain this. If all of a sudden I told you won $50 million in the lottery, right? And you actually did, once you realize that, I mean, your mind takes on a whole different level, right? And so all of a sudden, if I tell you your car broke down, and you know they poked holes on the tires, and I don't know, they put something to mess up the bank. I mean the paint, you know, I forgot what, lacquer thin or whatever you call it, and the paint's all screwed up, and they keyed the car. You know, you're gonna be like, the hell with that trash or whatever. The insurance will pay. You don't care. But if you're going through hard times and your mindset's not right, and that happens, it's not gonna be the same reaction, right? Now, what's the difference? You know, outside of the money, obviously the money it's a mindset. Because, you know, it's a choice how you respond, right? And if you're in a different state, which is, you can change at any moment, you know, and one of the best ways to change your state and change your mind is music. You know, that's why Tony does it, and I've always done it. You know, it's that. So as I'm listening to Tony, you know, a lot of things in life, you know, when we're not motivated, when we're not driven, when we're not excited, when we're not following our passion, you know, things become a have to instead of a get to. You know, I hear people all the time say, oh, I have to go to the gym. Shit, I'm freaking fired up I get to go to the gym because I'm going to look, feel, and perform better. I have more energy. I'm shredded. I'm this, I'm that. You know, I get to. You know, oh my God, I got to make 10 phone calls today. Shit, I get to call people. I have the opportunity. I have the opportunity to make an impact in other people's lives. I have the opportunity to make money. Guys, it's a change of perspective, and that change of perspective with a totally different state, guys, gives you totally different results and a totally different outlook of life and a totally different impact that you make in other people's lives. Nothing in life has meaning except the meaning we give it. You know, at the end of the day, guys, you know, everything can be interpreted differently, you know, and it's a choice. And again, I think it all relates to what I've been talking about with state of mind, just looking at things with a different perspective, right? Regardless of what life circumstances are giving you right now. You know, there's people you'll run into that have a lot of money and they're depressed. There's people you run into that have no money and they're freaking fired up, and vice versa. People that have money, they're fired up, and people that don't have money, they're not fired up, right? It is a freaking choice. It is a decision to be happy. I can tell you, one of the keys to my success is that I've always been happy. I've always been a happy guy, a fired up guy. I can tell you in the last year, when I started focusing on my problems instead of solutions, I became an unhappy person, and I tried to overcome it, and I would have some peaks, but they weren't that high. They weren't sustainable, right? But at any moment, I could have changed that. And looking back, you know, when you take some time to analyze, when you take off and you disconnect and you kind of play in the mind movies and rewind and see, where did I go wrong? What was I doing? What was I thinking at that time? Why is it that I made this decision? Why didn't I do this? Why didn't I do that, right? You know, you realize that you consciously made decisions because it's a conscious decision. Ultimately, they become habits, good or bad, because, you know, you're used to doing them. So you obviously, you know, once you want to make a change, you know, you got to stop and you got to look at that. Quality of our life is dependent on the quality of our conversations with ourselves. You know, I was listening to Brian Tracy. I think I mentioned a video previous called an audio called The Psychology of Achievement or Sales. I forgot. I think I listened to both. Anyhow, one of the things he says in the morning is, I like myself. I like myself. Say that 50 times. I like myself. I like myself. I like myself. There's something directly correlated with how you feel about yourself, self-esteem, and how you go about things, right? And so, you know, the quality of our life is dependent on the conversations. You know, a lot of times, guys, you know, we're our biggest critic. We're the most negative person that exists in our life is ourselves. You know, we doubt ourselves. We say we're not good enough. We say, man, you know, people are going to think this of me. Freaking who cares, dude? Nobody's going to freaking pay your bills. You know, Walmart's not accepting excuses for payment, right? I mean, at the end of the day, guys, you know, we have responsibilities. We have goals and dreams, guys. And you can't let anything block you from it. And it's a conscious decision. You know, a lot of times, you know, you might say, well, Freddie, that's very simple. You know, it's common sense. It is. But we get caught up in life. Going back to when I started this video, you know, talking about, you know, when people reach the age of 25, you know, they die, right? Because they give up on their dreams and they don't get buried till they're 65, right? Same thing here, guys. Sometimes we go in the wrong direction, right? You know, for some reason, we start listening to the wrong people. We start surrounding ourselves with the wrong people, listening to the wrong things. We start watching the news. All of a sudden, our mind freaking drops stuff, forgets stuff. And the reality is, guys, our mind is powerful. You know, where the mind goes, the body goes. Where the mind goes, life goes, right? And so what else? Whatever has control over your mind has control over you. So, guys, my main thing today is really, my main message today, you know, relevant to everything that's going on in my life, things that I'm sharing with you guys and with a lot of people is, you know, I want you guys to understand that life is short, and you got to enjoy every moment. And enjoying every moment is obviously, it starts with understanding that, you start off from a place of gratitude, no matter where you're at in life, whether you're going through a lot of challenges and you're in the middle of crisis, or you're coming out of crisis, or, crisis does not exist in your life right now because you've been able to manage a lot of stuff. And fortunately, you're in that grace period right now because it happens to all of us. You've got to get to a point, guys, where, number one, you're grateful for everything you have and grateful for everything you don't have. Because no matter how bad it is right now for you, there's people worse off than you. And if you were to look and realize what's out there, I promise you, you'd understand that you are blessed that that's all you got, or that's all that's going on, right? But with that said, from that point on, you gotta stretch your mind and understand that, there's a lot out there. There's a lot that's possible. And, if you don't have the answers, if you need the roadmap, surround yourself, find someone that's a mentor, someone that's been successful, someone that's going somewhere, and ask questions. The quality of your questions dictate the quality of your life. Ask better questions, get better answers, and have a better life. So, I don't know exactly what today has caught your attention with this video. Again, I'm getting back in action, and in the next month or two, these things are going to be freaking on fire, and definitely dropping a lot of nuggets, and I know I'm going to have a lot of traction. But I appreciate you guys, all the love, all the different comments you guys are giving, definitely the shares. I appreciate it. I hope you guys got value out of this, and if you do, definitely share it and leave a comment. I know a lot of you guys like to send me private comments, and I appreciate those as well. I got a lot of friends who are like to tell me stuff and not be public about it, and I appreciate that. But guys, I hope anything I share with you guys is definitely inspiring, opens your eyes, and helps you guys be, do, and have more. Go for it, stretch yourself, and definitely make a difference. Because guys, the better you become, the more you become, the more impact you make, and the more impact you make, the better place we have, everywhere that we go. So hope you guys are fired up from Miami, Florida, Doral, actually, the Fredster. Peace out. Take care, brothers. Love you guys. Fired up. Boom.